breathing a whole new tax base and life into the city that they've never had before. And at the same time, they know they've got this downtown. They have a downtown corridor, they have their traditional downtown area that has forever just kind of been ignored the last 30, 40 years. So they're trying to find ways to deal with that downtown. And one of the things they did, once again, just getting community representatives out and into those other places, into those nonprofits, just to experience planning and workshops and get excitement going. And that excitement led them to create a little downtown plan we got to work on. And so we're kind of seeing the downtown core that we're looking at. It's literally the intersection there at 143. 17 Springs is about a mile and a half to the north and west of this site. And we just go through the standard, we're finding those assets, we're finding those issues, we're discovering those opportunities, and kind of pulling those together. One of the things that we did in those working sessions with the leadership was to kind of go through the perceptions and needs for downtown and just try to establish the things they want, that wish list once again, but to really start looking at some design principles for them to follow and to start talking about when you're making those decisions, especially around infrastructure, why? Why are we going to spend that dollar here versus there? What's it going to bring to us? So we start looking at case studies right around them that they felt they wanted to emulate. They loved the downtown Prattville, of course. They wanted to look at how does a road function in a downtown, and Eufaula was a great example through their main street. They looked at Heflin and how another county road goes through that downtown core, and what does that mean? Because once again, that road, that piece of infrastructure, really starts beginning to define a user experience. And what I mean by that is it starts setting aside how far the buildings can be from one another. And the moment we take a little one-story or two-story building and we start pushing that more than 80 feet from each other, we start changing that human scale of how you feel when you walk down the street. Because you feel this canyon effect of having buildings so far away from you. And it's the exact same effect when we take a really tall building and put them together really close. And you can't look up. And so we've all been in those big cities where we're walking around and you're constantly straining your neck, looking up. And that proximity, so there's human scale, there's good and bad. But it's how do you get that just right for that success? Because ultimately we want cafes, we want galleries, we want walkability, we want all those things. Well, that road, that piece of infrastructure, that ribbon of concrete really starts setting the perception and that use. So we really want to make sure we look at those design principles in this plan. And then we go through those case studies and we start talking about their size of their cities,